Have you been looking to fill the void in your heart in between your weekly D&D sessions? Rolling the dice on the table, flipping through your book and looking at your character sheets just not quite enough? Even practicing the rare voice, trying to get that British elf accent just right. Well, hello there, my name is Tobias. Or your dwarves. Well, you see, I'm a bit of a dwarf there, laddie. You just gotta get a little Scottish on it. Now that being said, if those are not quite enough to sate your hunger for D&D, then I have the answer for you. And that answer is the Adventurers Guild. Now what is the Adventurers Guild, you might ask? Well, in the most simple terms, the Adventurers Guild is a West Marches campaign. I will be linking a video to Matt Colville down below, who goes very much into depth. But the long and the short of it is, you make a character, and you look for pickup games. There's, like I said from earlier, there's anywhere from 30 to 40 adventurers at any given time, and we have 5 to 6 DMs at any given time. And if you keep your eye out on the Discord channel that we mainly use as our means of communication, you will see DMs posting all the time, like, hey, I'm going to be running a game in an hour. Hey, I'm going to be playing a game later tonight. Anybody want in? First come, first serve, and you play. This, for me, is awesome, because I have 2 weekly D&D sessions that I play, and in between, I know that I really just crave D&D. Like, I just want to play all the time, even if it's just kind of this dungeon crawler MMO-y kind of style, where it's not have this huge, long-running campaign, more so just quest, follow the story of that quest, finish. Oh, this DM's running a group. He's going to run it differently. Like, there's a DM currently who's focused very much on riddles. There's another DM who really just wants to kill the parties, so you know that his encounters are always super difficult, but they're very rewarding and fun for that sake. So it's really cool to see different styles of DMs, different players, and the variety of the parties that you get. Instead of having like a solid party composition in your normal campaigns, you're looking at having, like my first session in Adventurers Guild, we had 2 wizards, a sorcerer, an artificer, and a bard. Now let me tell you, in case you don't know, none of those classes can tank worth a damn, alright? But we had some healing between the artificer and the bard, so we were able to get through. Nobody went down that I can remember, and we definitely did a lot of damage, so that was a fun time. But it adds this element of fun to the game that you would normally not expect. So, maybe you want some more explanation about the world? Well, we're located in Phandalin. If you've played the starter set, it is the town from the starter set. Our guild is focused there, like, thematically, and that means we're also placed in the Forgotten Realms setting, which means that all of your gods will be related to Forgotten Realms, all of your creatures, all the kind of lore that will come with the world is going to be around the Forgotten Realms. If you're not familiar with that, we always post links and talk about it in our Discord channel as well, which I know I've brought that up a few times, so I'll be putting a link to that down below as well, so be sure to check that out. That being said, Phandalin, Forgotten Realms, starter set. Pretty much the basis of the world. If you have any questions about those, feel free to ask anybody in the Discord or ask me down below, and I'll do my best to answer that for you. Now, have you never played D&D before? It's very possible, and it's very likely that you haven't. And if you haven't, that's totally fine. We accept players of all skill ranges. We have a slight little house rule where if you're familiar with D&D, you're more than welcome to start at level 3. If you're less familiar with D&D, you're more than welcome to start at level 1. This gives you an opportunity to actually play beginner level quests, so you don't have to worry about, oh, I have all these things, I don't know what they do. Well, if you start at level 1, it allows you to work your way up. And a lot of the DMs like to run these like, hey, starter only. Anybody who's newer to the game, please feel free to join. And during that whole session, they're going to introduce a lot of the mechanics of the game to you, and they'll help you love D&D, hopefully. Now, that being said about the player base, when it actually comes to creating your character, anyone is welcome. You can make a commoner if you really want to, 10 down the road, completely basic character, no bonuses whatsoever. All the way to an artificer, anything from the UA for the most part is accepted. There's a list of rules. When you go to sign up, there's a list of character rules like Revenant isn't allowed because the race is actually completely broken. They're trying to eliminate any flying classes off the start, so Ohgrr and the winged tiefling variant. But outside of that, anyone is welcome. All races, all classes, any UA is pretty much allowed, like I said, so you'll always run into somebody who plays a character just a little bit differently. We have a bunch of ongoing characters in our Discord who we talk about who are, I guess, like the memes of the Adventurers Guild. There is a character known as Dwarf Dad, which was an NPC created, and now one of the players has adopted that idea and created Dwarf Son, and his whole goal is to be like Dwarf Dad. And it's just going to be this straight barbarian, all the way to level 20, who just hits really hard, takes little damage, and has effectively 640 HP. So you can see where some of these builds get a little crazy, but it's half the fun of it, right? You get to play with all these crazy people, all these fun builds. You can come in and do voices if you're familiar with them, or you can practice voices if you're not. You know what, at the end of the day, just for little bits of you out there who want to practice voices or do voices and are uncomfortable with it, nobody but you knows what that voice needs to sound like, right? So all you got to do is just do it. Practice it. Sit in the shower without the music, talk to yourself, like doing the voice. When you're driving, turn off the music, do the voice. And due to the large community of adventurers that we have, we are actively talking and sharing stories and discussing new things. We have an entire tab dedicated to character creation where we can discuss min-maxing, fun character concept ideas, or details of a class if you have no ideas. So for you newcomers, feel free to post in there and ask. We have no problem answering those questions for you guys. And hopefully you can find something in the Adventurers Guild that you enjoy. We have everything from war to piracy to businesses to intrigue and your classic adventure, exploration, going into dungeons, going into random caves, just taking on quests to help out the townsfolk from around. Margaret, down the road, has giant rats in her basement. Perhaps we should go help her. She's offered 5 gold reward to each one of the adventurers. Oh, I'll sign up. That sounds like a great level 1 adventure. Let me go do that. Well, do it. Anybody is welcome to come DM. Anybody is welcome to come play. Even DMs play. I know most of the DMs have 1 to 2 characters that they play actively, and that's something that everyone really enjoys, being able to take part in the community and do what you want to do to help sate your desire to play D&D. And this is the perfect community for it. I really suggest you guys check it out. I will be putting Discord links down below. I'll put a link to the website down below, and I will also put a link to Matt Colville's description of West Marches down below as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit like, ideally hit subscribe, but for the most part, just please come check out the community. Didn't throw this in. We're playing 5e. Just so you know, if you've never played 5e, super easy to pick up. And again, if you've never played D&D, super easy to pick up. If you guys have any questions or concerns, please ask me down below or hop into the Discord and come ask us. Thank you so much for your interest in the Adventurers Guild, and I hope to see you guys in Phandalin.